Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to properly configure a synthesis in Meteodyn WT. So first open the WT product, and after configuring a site, its location and geographical data as well as all its elements, and after launching the CFD computation, enough CFD that it covers the whole windrows with a minimum step of 45 degrees. And it can be launched for several stabilities. Here I launched for stability 2 and 4. You can now configure a synthesis. So to create a new synthesis, click on the Create Synthesis button, and you can rename your synthesis, add a description, and then the first step is to select the layout on which you want to perform the synthesis. So as a reminder, the layouts are defined in the element section. So you can, for example, decide to perform a synthesis only on a mapping to get wind wind maps and production maps. You can decide to perform a synthesis only on wind turbines, or perform on 2 masts to do a cross-validation, for example, or on various elements. So select the layout in this section. And if your layout contains wind turbines or mapping, you need to associate a wind turbine type. So you will select the wind turbine type among the ones available in the list, in the database. You can either select for all the mappings and all the turbines, or you can customize and select a wind turbine only for some of the wind turbines, for example, and click on Apply to Selected, and this type will be chosen for the synthesis. So after, select whether or not you want to compute curtailment. I'm not going to explain you how to configure curtailment. This will be done in another video. Then the next step is to configure the meteorological data. So your layout must contain at least one meteorological element. So select the reference meteorological element and associate a meteorological data among the ones available in the list. And select the height of your meteorological data. If you want to use more than one reference element, you can use the multi-mast option and select the other reference point and associate meteorological data. If your meteorological data contains time series, it is possible to perform a temporal synthesis, which means the synthesis will be computed at each time step of the time series. Then select the CFD results that will be used during the computation. So if you launch several stabilities, you can select one or the 2 of them, and you can also do a selection by direction. Then configure whether or not you want to compute the wake effects on the turbines and on the mapping, and select the wake models, so the speed reduction model between park and fast EVN, and the turbulence model, as well as the coverage you want to use. If you decide to perform a large park wake effect computation, you need to define a park area, either by importing a shapefile or a text file, or by drawing on the map. The closest to the element the shape will be, the more accurate the result will be. And then select a representative thrust curve for the park, and select the air density and click on Select, and the curve will be selected for the density. And then additional parameter can be modified. Then configure the extreme wind speed if you want to compute it. So the 50 years extreme wind speed may be calculated from a reference point that can be chosen or from a regional reference. Then select the type and select a value for the extreme wind speed. Then you can modify the options for the computation, so the priority of your job and the number of cores. And finally, the summary will indicate the meteorological data that is used and the results that will be available. If you cannot click on those buttons, it means there is some warning. So click on the warning panel and you will see what is wrong in your configuration. So you can save the configuration to complete it later, or you can run the computation either in local or in HPC mode. And then the computation will start. For more information on the configuration of synthesis, you can check the user manual dedicated to the microscale, where all the information are available. Thank you for your attention.